All right, thanks for joining another heavy podcast, guys. We're here today with Crave Death. Welcome.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Good to be here. So Crave Death are in Brisbane today to play at CVLTFEST alongside Alpha Wolf, Crossfaith, The Muir, Ocean Grove and others. So you've already played. How was it? And you're not answering because you don't know, but how was it?
Yeah, it was good. It sounded pretty good on stage.
It felt good.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear much.
You didn't hear much?
Yeah.
Is this your first time playing Eatons yourself?
Yeah.
Bloody good venue, eh?
It's amazing.
Really good, yeah. How's it on stage, the sound?
It's really good.
Yeah, like
it's good.
I think we heard Vilify sound checking and the sound was awesome. Like front, like out in the crowd. So as long as we sounded the same as that, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Very cool. And what is playing something like it's a growing festival. It's getting better and better every year. Like, what does playing at something like this mean to you as a band?
It's good to. It's not necessarily our side of the hardcore scene, so it's good to have that cross pollination.
Yeah.
And it's good for the scene as a whole. Everyone likes heavy music. Doesn't really matter what you call it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like our genre's a little bit different to the bands on there, so I think it's kind of cool, to broaden.
It's awesome for sure.
Yeah.
And when it's the other way around, it's just as good too. So.
Yeah. And the other aspect of that too, like this lineup features a heap of Aussie bands and some internationals as well. So these days there's not enough Australian content on festivals, international bands, I don't think. Like, how important is it for the Australian music industry that there's things like this going?
You mean like with
Australian bands mixing with the internationals?
I think it's huge. I think it's important.
Yeah. It's as little as like a small town band gets the opportunity to play with a big band like, I don't know, Crossfaith or Muir, and then that band happens to like the local band, buys their merch, goes back home, and then those people over at home go, oh shit, that guy from so-and-so is wearing this new merch, I've never seen this band, I like to look it up.
Yeah.
It's cool when it's as easy as that, like, and then you can actually have them linking bands.
Especially, I guess, lower end of the scale too, like if you're not headlining or like direct support, trying to get any, I guess, play time is pretty hard when these touring bands bring 3 American like bands over and it's just the local one opener trying to get how many people are fighting for that one slot. So the fact that Alpha put on a heap of Australian bands is pretty insane to see.
It's fucking awesome. It's
getting harder too, because I remember talking to the guys who were bringing over Mudvayne and Cold Chamber recently, and I was asking them about having an Australian band support them. And I didn't actually, until I spoke to him about it, I didn't see it from his viewpoint, but he was saying for them to have one Aussie band on each show would cost them around $5,000 extra, because the size of the venues they were playing, you have to hire it for the extra hour for the band, you have to hire the security, you have to hire the bar staff. So you think that venues could maybe even have a bit of give, and just to help Australian bands get that chance.
That's a new insight. I thought it was
I always
for the night.
Yes,
that's the night, not any kind of
thing.
time frame. So
and that's sort of made me look
news to me.
To me, the bigger venues hire it for like hour allotments, whereas when we book shows, it's like you can have it for the night.
That's
true. Maybe it was full of shit. Just giving me an excuse.
Oh, we're
not playing big venues.
We play like small little hardcore shows. So
I think that's the highest.
Telling the truth.
It's interesting from that point of view, though. It's like, but maybe some government subsidy or so there's got to be something, because I think there should be a percentage of Australian bands on every bill. No, but I don't think it should be allowed that 2 internationals come over here and not have an Australian band representing it.
Absolutely,
all right. Well, if you're going to bring an extra international over, put an extra local on.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Match it or something If you want the scene over here to grow.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah.
What's the easiest way is to put on local bands. So.
And it's great to see so many nationals coming, but at the moment it's impacting the local scene because people haven't got the money to go to everything, so they're saving going to see the internationals, and I think it's the local market that are missing out.
There's not most of the people that are going to these sorts of shows might not be aware that there's shows down the road at the pub or at the PCYC or anywhere that people can set up a PA and play a show in front of people. But it's always good to get more people.
Sweet. So for anyone watching, listening that hasn't heard of Crave Death before, tell us a bit about the band.
I am way newer than you, so
it's just aggressive, heavy metal, hardcore. Just aggressive heavy metal hardcore.
We just do it because we love it, really.
Yeah, right.
We don't, that's it.
And you're your local Gold Coast Brisbane band, are you?
Yep. too. We're kind of like spread out Gold Coast, Brisbane.
Yeah. North side all the way to Tweed. So
Yeah, like way, everyone's everywhere.
Who lives closest to Eatons? Who's got the good one this time?
Probably.
our bassist doing merch at the moment, and then
Yeah.
me, I'm just over the bridge. So
I'm like an hour and 5 minutes away,
Yeah,
so
man.
You're not drinking today then?
I don't drink. So, but yeah.
Smart girl. So, you formed and released your debut release Life After Death in 2016. So how difficult is it getting a foothold in the music scene coming from somewhere like Brisbane and Gold Coast as opposed to a major place like Melbourne and Sydney?
It's as hard as you make it, I guess. Like, there's definitely obstacles that are in the way as a standard for any new band, but it's definitely who you know. But just making friends with people, going to a show and introducing yourself to the other band and be like, hey man, nice to meet you. We should play a show together sometime.
Making an
It's a
effort
bit of a
with
hassle,
people there
but
as well, yeah.
there's little things. But other than that, just play shows.
We played a
just
lot
play-
of shows.
just say yes to every show you
so
can play.
many
And don't
shows.
be a dick.
So
Don't be a
many.
dick if some young kid comes up to you and says, hey man, I really like your band. Be like, yeah, thanks man, like, it's all good.
Yeah,
Like,
give people the time of day.
yeah, be welcoming, like you wanted to be welcomed into the scene. Like everyone wants to be welcomed. So
you want that next band to support you, so
Yeah.
just be nice.
Yeah, it's fair call too. And you released your last EP, what is it, Die Slow?
Yeah.
I can't even read my own writing. How sick is that?
Right.
Die Slow last year. So how was that received? Have you felt a bit of a groundswell coming with the band?
I think that was the most, I guess, different and from everything we've done previously. And joining the band after, I think this is the first release that
Yeah.
Taylor, our new bassist, and I have been a
Yeah.
part of.
Yeah.
And it kind of brought a new perspective from where we started playing bands to what Crave Death was, and it seems to have been received pretty well.
Yeah.
Adding a new element, a little bit more melodic, but still super aggressive and punchy.
Because you get stuck in a rut when you've been like, doing stuff for a while. You get stuck in a bit of a rut, and then like having a fresh perspective, kind of just like.
A bit of kick in the ass.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was
it's easy
definitely.
to get in your own head when you're writing
Yeah.
music
It is, it
about
gets-
what's allowed and what's not.
Yeah.
I don't know, like.
So what, someone else coming in sort of opens that up a little bit and gives you a new outlook?
Yeah, like things that I never would have thought to write when someone goes, hey, like, what about this? And you go,
Actually.
oh, okay, that actually works. Yeah, I would have thought about that.
Yeah, cool.
I'm probably working a little bit more with the likes of Pip, the engineer that recorded it,
Yeah,
having a
he's
bit more
amazing.
input,
He's so
giving
good.
us some feedback, and letting us know, I guess, which kind of direction all of it should go in, not just. We don't want 4 songs pulling 4 different directions, trying to be cohesive and make sure that flows into the next thing and a whole set runs smooth instead of just old versus new, 2 different sounds clashing. So trying to tie everything back together.
Yeah, right. So but now you started going down that path, like, is that the way your music's going to go more of in the future?
More aggressive, if anything. I think.
Yeah, I think
the sounds more a
Just
bit more
whatever it's going to
aggressive.
sound like.
Yeah.
I don't think. Personally, I try not to put a label in my head about what I'm going to write because then I'm going to restrict myself eventually.
Yeah, true.
And dislike whatever I put out or write. So whatever it sounds like is what's good. It's going to sound like. It will just be.
Yeah, I know. I think
A
it's
version
good.
of us.
I think that's what's good with us. We kind of just like go with the flow. We don't really have like.
Yeah, as long
I
as
don't
we
know.
all like it.
Yeah, we still have to like it. Otherwise, it's a no. Like, it's like
And,
too bad.
and if we agree on it and we get some feedback early on, like playing a new song today, hopefully we can get some feedback. It's the first time we've played it. And
Yeah.
if it's
Word.
good, yeah,
Forgot about that, eh?
we'll get it out
I
there.
messed it up. Being honest, I completely butchered it.
No one knows it's
Yeah,
not.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
You got time to
I
change
didn't
it.
do that. I mean, that never happened.
But yeah, like, let's see how we go.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the new song you played today. What is it? Is it going to be released? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been released, or it's going to be?
No.
No.
So tell us about it. What's the song called?
It's called
Well-
Dylan's song.
Yeah, at the moment.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's called Dylan's song.
Yeah, we haven't tracked vocals for it yet, so it's kind of a working title.
Yeah.
But it should be coming out if
Yeah, hopefully on the 2 or 3 tracks, 3 or 4 track maybe.
Oh yeah, so 3 or 4 track EP.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps asking us to do an album though, so we need to do that.
Yeah, we keep it small.
People need to
Yeah.
Well, these days, I think the smaller the better. You know, people's attention span
Yeah.
is
I
so
think that's
little.
what
That,
I said.
you've
I
got
agree.
they have
Literally.
the time or the
It's really hard to find an album that you can listen to 11
Exactly.
songs
Like,
straight
it's
on.
like perfect
Everyone's got an
length,
album.
you know, like-
People get bored after
Yeah,
that.
I love
but
it.
it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, it's hard.
It's very rare. There's
You
like
kind
an
of-
album from start to finish that I'm like, yes, you know.
Or you've come back to appreciate it a year later and be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there was some cool songs
Yeah.
after song 5,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I'll listen to the whole thing now.
Yeah.
Or your favourite?
Well, I think the other
releases
side of that
5
too
years
is
ago?
because, like I say, people's attention spans are so little. Like, if you release an album and then you release another album 18 months later,
No one cares about
you're
the first
irrelevant
one.
by then. People have forgotten who you are because
Yeah.
there's so
Yeah.
much. But if you do an EP, 3 or 4 track, and then 6 months later come out with another one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, you're keeping your name out there, you're staying relevant.
Think-
and-
Yeah.
And it's tricky not to write for the sake of writing though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no one wants to hear writing for the sake of writing.
Yeah.
Like, people want new music, which is fine, but from every artist. But
needs to be like-
no one wants to. Everyone knows that band that they've come out and gone, oh, this kind of just sounds like they're
Yeah,
writing.
they
You know,
just
you
try to
need
fill
to, we need to
space in,
feel
yeah.
something for us to release something. Otherwise, we don't see the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
You know what I
feels
mean?
like-
Like
COVID's only happened once to hold everyone over
Yeah.
for that amount of time. Like
True.
all these bands touring stuff that they released during that time, and they got a good extra couple of years out of it. And
yeah.
I don't think like people are hungry for music. They don't want full albums. They don't want to wait. They want
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
now. And it's
Now,
like,
yeah.
we got to
It's
keep
such
everyone
an immediate
entertained.
society
Yeah.
these days,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So, well, what's next for Crave Death? You guys got anything planned for the near future?
We've got a couple shows coming up in the next couple of months,
Yep.
like all ages.
Yeah, all
Sunshine,
ages.
Sunshine Coast,
Yep.
Gold Coast,
Yeah.
and Redcliffe.
Redcliff.
Yeah,
in
so
April, yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
getting a little bit out there. Love to get down to Sydney and Melbourne
Oh yeah.
if we
Yes.
can.
Wanna
Try
go
and
to
play.
WA.
Yeah, just
One big full thing.
we keep getting asked. We keep being
Sydney's
told
always on
that
the
it's
list.
great
Yeah.
for us to get out there.
Yeah.
People want to book us. We just got to find the time and money to get it going.
And where can people find out about these gigs? What's the best socials to get hold of you?
Probably Instagram, really. It's
Yeah.
like the best way.
We don't
like,
really use Facebook.
Yeah,
that much.
Facebook reach is a bit crappy now. To get, you don't
Plus
get
it's
very
a
good reach
shit
on
social
there.
media app.
And places like Japan too, like Facebook's obsolete these days. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just use Instagram.
Yeah. So probably that.
There's too much social media.
We don't have TikTok.
No, we don't.
I don't even know what
You will
TikTok
not find
is.
us.
But yeah, it's the 17th of March. We play in Namble.
Namble,
Then
yeah.
Yeah.
Black
I
Box.
forget what Black Box, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're headlining that one, and it's all ages. So
Yeah,
Nice.
all
Should be good.
ages.
Yeah.
Come support the scene.
yeah,
All the
I'm
other
excited.
bands.
Like all ages hasn't been anything for ages.
No, all
so-
it is, it's great. It's good to see you coming back.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm so excited.
I'm taking straight after you. I'm taking my girls up to Cloudra, Red Hooker playing up there with them.
Nice.
Sick.
And they've met Emmy before. They love Emmy.
Nice.
So, but they
Right.
put
Oh, I
aside.
met Emmy. We
she's
did
sweet as, isn't she?
the Women in Music Awards thing
Okay.
together. Yeah, so.
And they're putting aside a little VIP area near the sound desk for us, so my kids.
Yeah.
They're 7 and 9. So.
That's right.
That's so sweet.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
going to be
three
cool.
girls.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it? So yeah, they're sitting out there in the lobby now waiting for me.
Yeah, no,
They're
we
that
We
saw
saw
sort
them
of-
on the way in, yes.
Yeah,
Very
they're
quiet.
beautiful. They're very well behaved,
quiet,
and they're so
very good.
cute. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for your time. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
so much.
And
Thank you for having us.
I'll definitely keep an eye out for you. I'm a Brisbane lad myself, so I'll keep an eye out and I'll come and see you next time.
Oh, yeah, we love
Thank
that.
you.
Thank
No worries, guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much.